when Bill Cosby first got charged a couple months back. The prosecutor came out there and he was saying things like it already happened, and you took issue with that, and you took issue with Gloria Allred. So where do you stand now in terms of the Bill Cosby situation?
Well, I have never defended Bill Cosby. I never met him. I don't know the evidence in the case. I don't know whether he did anything wrong or not. What I have defended was his right to a fair trial, his right to due process of law, his right to be presumed innocent till proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, his right to defend himself instead of being Justinian day in and day out to the point where it may be difficult to get a fair trial. And I think no one understands this predicament better than I do, having been lead counsel in the defense of Michael Jackson. I know the way the world media tried to position, the jury so that they would convict. And he was convicted in people's eyes before he had a chance to show up and defend himself. And once he did, their witnesses started falling like bowling pins. So I don't know what's going to happen in the Cosby trial. All of these women have come forward 40 years later, most of them, saying they were raped or they were sexually assaulted. I don't know if they were or they weren't, but I think he has a right to investigate them thoroughly, to find out. I think the defense has a right to determine, what their backgrounds were like, why they were with Mr. Cosby, what they intended to accomplish, what kind of people they were, what were they doing in Hollywood, what kind of a lifestyle were they leading, were they freely taking drugs at parties. They claim some of them at least, I think majority claim they were raped and drugged. I think the defense has a right to investigate and explore these charges and defend them, consistent with the law. So all I did was defend his right to have a fair trial and not have the justice foreclosed before he even enters the courtroom. That's all I did. I know it was controversial, but I said what I believe.
Yeah, in fact, Gloria Allred, when you two were on CNN, she made reference that a lot of prosecutors wouldn't go near this case, and then you made a good point in the old actor, I can't think of his name, Arby, something like that. Fatty Arbuckle, right. So he was prosecuted too, right?
Well, Fatty Arbuckle, right. I believe it was the 1920s and 30s, maybe in the 30s, was a very famous, very successful, popular actor in America, a very young age, and he was falsely accused of rape in San Francisco. I believe they went through 3 trials before he was exonerated, but by the time he was exonerated, he was broke, his reputation had been destroyed, and he died of a heart attack not long after this. It went on and on and on. He was eventually exonerated, but paid a heavy and permanent price in the process. So I mention that because this notion that, people don't want to prosecute celebrities, to me, is ridiculous. The Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office has prosecuted celebrities for the last century. They've never been reluctant to go after celebrities. In fact, legendary criminal defense lawyer Clarence Darrow, one of my icons, was prosecuted in Los Angeles for jury bribery. He was destroyed financially and hurt professionally. The first jury, I believe, hung, and the first one hung. The next one acquitted him. Well, I guess they charged him twice. He was acquitted the first time, and then they tried him, and then I think they resolved it. It was a hung jury, and they said, look, just don't come back to Los Angeles, and we won't charge you again. He was hurt terribly, but the point I'm making is they've never been reluctant to go after famous people. I didn't understand what she said at all.
Yeah, and she attacked you in some of the interviews. Like, I don't understand why the defense attorney, I don't take from any defense attorneys. What's her motivation behind all this, Ms. Allred?
To be honest with you, I know Gloria Allred, and in my opinion, she occupies a very important role in American legal culture. I mean, she, for many, many years has been a champion of women's rights and women have been discriminated against in our legal system in a variety of ways for many years. Women in American society are still not equal. On average, they're paid less. Their opportunities to advance in many organizations, not as good. And I'm talking about law firms. I'm talking about the entertainment industry. I'm talking about a lot of industries. Certainly advances have been made, but not enough. Gloria's position in American society is a very sound one. However, she can be wrong. And, I defended Mike Tyson. It was approximately 2001. He had already been to prison for rape. A woman in San Bernardino County claimed he had raped her, and Gloria Allred immediately signed her up as a client, gave a press conference in support of her. We did a thorough investigation and put together a booklet that I think was extremely persuasive about why this wasn't true, what she said. We presented it to the district attorney, and they decided not to charge, Mike Tyson with this crime. And, Gloria, from what I could see, then just disappeared. Now, you also may recall that she supported a petition to strip Michael Jackson of his parental rights, claiming he was not a fit parent. There was a petition filed with the Department of Children's Services in Santa Barbara County. There was also an investigation by the Department of Children and Family Services in Los Angeles County in California. We had to deal with these issues during the defense of Michael Jackson in his criminal trial, and we called some of the women who had investigated Michael Jackson's, fitness to be a parent as our witnesses in his criminal case. So those are two situations where, in my opinion, Gloria Allred was just plain wrong. And there are two occasions where I think she made very strong suggestions that people were guilty who, in my opinion, were not. So, while I think she occupies a very strong position, an important position in American legal culture, the fact is she can be dead wrong and be very biased, and you have to challenge her when necessary.
No question about it. All right, here's a cut on Oscar Pistorius, and I want to get your take on the other side.
When Oscar Pistorius was last in court, his lawyers announced that he would try to fight his murder conviction in the Constitutional Court. That bid failed. Pistorius now faces sentencing. His sister Ame and father Henke, with whom he has had a strained relationship, were on hand to support him, and it's emerged he was hospitalized over the weekend. Correctional Services has confirmed that Oscar Pistorius